According to the 1999 National Electrical Code, specifically Section 336.18, cable supports must be installed in a manner that prevents damage to the cable. When non-metallic sheathed cable, often referred to as an M cable, is pulled through bored holes in framing members, there's a risk of the outer jacket being damaged by splinters or other sharp edges. The question arises whether a small puncture in the outer jacket, without direct damage to the inner conductors, necessitates cable replacement or allows for a safe repair, such as using electrical tape. While the 1999 NEC doesn't explicitly address the repair of damaged cable jackets, it emphasizes the importance of maintaining the cable's integrity. A small puncture, even if seemingly superficial, can compromise the cable's protective layer. This breach creates a potential entry point for moisture, dust, and other contaminants. Over time, these elements can corrode the conductors, leading to insulation breakdown, short circuits, and even fire hazards. Therefore, the generally recommended approach is to replace any cable with a damaged outer jacket, irrespective of the damage's apparent severity. This proactive measure ensures long-term safety and prevents future problems. However, under certain very specific circumstances, a repair might be considered. If the puncture is extremely small, almost pinhole size, and there's absolutely no visible damage to the inner conductors or their insulation, a repair using electrical tape may be a viable option. The key to a safe repair is proper execution. Firstly, thoroughly clean the damaged area and remove any sharp edges or debris that caused the puncture. Secondly, use high-quality electrical tape that is specifically designed for cable insulation. Thirdly, apply the tape tightly and in multiple layers, overlapping each layer to create a secure and waterproof seal. Fourthly, ensure that the taped area is smooth and does not create a tripping hazard or interfere with the cable's proper operation. However, it's crucial to understand the limitations of such a repair. A taped repair only addresses the immediate puncture. It does not restore the original integrity of the cable jacket. The repaired section remains a potential weak point, and the cable should be regularly inspected for any signs of deterioration or further damage. In situations where the puncture is larger, or if there's any doubt about the condition of the inner conductors, replacement is always the safer and more reliable option. It is also important to consider the specific environment where the cable is installed. In damp or corrosive environments, even a small puncture can lead to significant damage over time. In such cases, replacement is highly recommended. Ultimately, the decision to repair or replace a damaged NM cable is a judgment call that should be made by a qualified electrician. They have the expertise to assess the extent of the damage, evaluate the environmental factors, and determine the safest course of action. An electrician will consider several factors before making a decision. 1. The size and location of the puncture. 2. The condition of the inner conductors and their insulation. 3. The environmental conditions where the cable is installed. 4. The accessibility of the damaged section. 5. The overall age and condition of the cable. 6. The requirements of local electrical codes and regulations. If an electrician determines that a repair is acceptable, they will use appropriate materials and techniques to ensure a safe and reliable repair. They may also recommend additional protective measures, such as installing a conduit or sleeving to protect the cable from future damage. However, if the electrician has any concerns about the safety or reliability of a repair, they will recommend replacement. Replacement ensures that the cable is fully protected and meets all applicable safety standards. It also provides peace of mind knowing that the electrical system is in good working order. Remember, electrical safety is paramount. Never attempt to repair or replace electrical wiring if you are not qualified to do so. Always consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that the work is done safely and correctly. Ignoring seemingly minor damage to electrical wiring can have serious consequences, including electrical shocks, fires, and even fatalities. By following the recommendations of a qualified electrician and adhering to the National Electrical Code, you can help ensure the safety of yourself, your family, and your property. When considering the support of cables, the 1999 National Electrical Code in Section 336.18 emphasizes methods that avoid cable damage. This principle extends to the entire installation process, including pulling cables through bored holes. The intent is to prevent any compromise to the cable's insulation and protective jacket. If, during the pulling process, the outer jacket of an NM cable sustains a puncture or tear due to a splinter or sharp edge, a careful evaluation is needed. The primary concern is whether the inner conductors or their insulation have been affected. If the conductors and insulation are intact, the situation warrants further consideration. The size and nature of the jacket damage are crucial factors. A very small puncture might seem inconsequential, but it can still create a pathway for moisture, dust, or other contaminants to reach the inner insulation. Over time, this can lead to corrosion, insulation breakdown, and potential electrical hazard. In such cases, a repair might be considered, but only if it can effectively seal the puncture and prevent any future ingress of contaminants. Using electrical tape as a repair method requires careful execution. Firstly, the damaged area must be thoroughly cleaned and dried. Secondly, a high-quality electrical tape specifically designed for cable insulation should be used. Thirdly, a tape should be applied tightly and in multiple layers, overlapping each layer to create a secure and waterproof seal. Fourthly, the repaired section should be smooth and free of any sharp edges or protrusions that could cause further damage. However, it's important to recognize the limitations of a tape repair. It's not a permanent solution and does not restore the original integrity of the cable jacket. The repaired section remains a potential weak point and should be regularly inspected for any signs of deterioration. In cases where the puncture is larger, or if there's any doubt about the condition of the inner conductors or their insulation, replacement is the only safe and reliable option. Replacing the damaged cable ensures that the electrical system remains protected and compliant with safety standards. The decision to repair or replace a damaged cable should not be taken lightly. It's a judgment call that requires careful consideration of all relevant factors, including the extent of the damage, the environmental conditions, and the potential risks. In situations where there is any uncertainty, it's always best to err on the side of caution and replace the cable. A qualified electrician has the knowledge and experience to properly assess the situation and make the right decision. They can also ensure that any repairs or replacements are done safely and in accordance with applicable electrical codes and regulations. Therefore, if you encounter a damaged cable, it's essential to consult with a qualified electrician before attempting any repairs. They can provide expert guidance and ensure that your electrical system remains safe and reliable. Remember, electrical safety is not something to be taken lightly. It's a responsibility that we all share. By following the recommendations of qualified electricians and adhering to electrical codes and regulations, we can help prevent electrical accidents and ensure the safety of our homes and communities. When dealing with electrical wiring, always prioritize safety and consult with a professional when in doubt. The potential consequences of improper wiring or repairs are simply too great to risk. If the conductors themselves are damaged, or their insulation is compromised, the cable must be replaced. There's no safe repair for damaged conductors or insulation. Attempting to repair such damage with tape or other methods is extremely dangerous and can lead to electrical shock, fire, or other serious hazards. The primary function of the cable jacket is to protect the inner conductors and their insulation from physical damage, moisture, and other environmental factors. When the jacket is breached, it compromises this protection and exposes the inner components to potential harm. Even a small puncture can create a pathway for moisture to enter, leading to corrosion and insulation breakdown. This can result in short circuits, ground faults, and other electrical problems. Therefore, it's crucial to maintain the integrity of the cable jacket and address any damage promptly. While a tape repair might seem like a quick and easy solution for a small puncture, it's important to understand its limitations. Tape does not restore the original strength and integrity of the jacket. It only provides a temporary seal. Over time, the tape can deteriorate, crack, or peel off, exposing the damaged area to the elements once again. Furthermore, tape does not provide any additional insulation or protection against electrical hazards. It's simply a barrier against moisture and dust. Therefore, a tape repair should only be considered as a temporary measure until a permanent solution can be implemented. The best course of action is always to replace the damaged cable with a new one. This ensures that the electrical system is fully protected and meets all applicable safety standards. Replacing a cable involves disconnecting it from the power source, removing it from the wall or ceiling, and installing a new cable in its place. This is a relatively straightforward process, but it should only be done by a qualified electrician. They have the knowledge and experience to perform the work safely and correctly. When replacing a cable, it's important to use the correct type and size of cable for the application. The National Electrical Code specifies the types of cables that are allowed for different applications, and it's essential to follow these guidelines. Using the wrong type of cable can create a safety hazard and may violate local electrical codes. It's also important to ensure that the cable is properly supported and protected from physical damage. Cables should be secured to walls or ceilings with staples or straps, and they should be protected from abrasion or impact by running them through conduit or other protective materials. By following these guidelines, you can help ensure that your electrical system is safe and reliable. Remember, electrical safety is a shared responsibility. We all have a role to play in preventing electrical accidents and ensuring the safety of our homes and communities. Always consult with a qualified electrician before attempting any electrical repairs, and never take shortcuts when it comes to safety.